Hello guys, GamingMad11 here, and today I'm going to be teaching you guys how to use Hammer. First things first, this is a program. You can find it in your GarrysMod bin folder. If you need any help opening it, check down in the description. So to start off, what we're going to do is you click this the block tool on the left, and this is basically used for drawing blocks and everything else. It's referred to as the brush tool sometimes as well, if you read through the wiki pages of the Hammer. Anyway, so what you need to do is just draw out a square and press enter. This will create a block on the 3D screen on the top left. Now what you need to do is click this Rubik's Cube on the left, click browse and select any texture. I'm going for a nice brick one, and that will texture it so you have a nice little block. Now, if you start this up in your game now, what you would just be is on a flat plane of brick. There's not much in the map yet, so what we need to do is build up a couple of walls. So you draw on this one here for the top-down view, and these are the two side views. All you need to know for now is you need to drag it up on this one to create a wall upwards, and then just do it the same on these to add the other 5 walls. And then if you use the select tool here, select the other walls, you can just drag them up like this, and then you'll be left with this hollowed out cube. Now what you want to do is add another roof, so add one here and drag it up, and there you go, you've now got a box. Now, just for testing the map, what you want to do is you want to click this on the left. It's the entity tool, 4th one down, and then you click on the middle, click on the select tool, and just select off it. Now what you want to do is save your map. I'm just going to call this, in fact I'll put this in a folder. So this is called tutorial 1. Now once you've done this, just hit F9 and it'll come up with this menu here. Just set everything to normal and then click OK. Now wait for this menu to go and it should load up your GarrysMod. Okay, so now your GarrysMod's open, what you want to do is have a quick look around. This is your first map. So what you've done is you've created a box and you've placed yourself inside it. So you can spawn in props, etc. And if you go into no clip, you can fly outside it, but there's not much outside. So if we just close GarrysMod and head back into Hammer, let's add something to look at. So what you can do is if you click these walls with the texture application which we used earlier, the one which looks like a Rubik's Cube, go inside and just left click on the walls and it'll select them in red if you look. And once they're in red, what you want to do is search Skybox and then scroll down to the bottom and click one of these at the bottom, the Tools/Tool Skybox. And I accidentally deselected these. Fun. So if it doesn't work, just select them again so they're in red and select it again and click apply. So now you should have a skybox, so I'm just going to recompile. I'll be back when it's done. Okay, so now you're in the game. Ignore script errors, that's just add-on I'm working on, which is failing completely. Let's just restart it. So now you're in game, you should be able to see the sky. Yay! So you're on this floating platform, it seems, with your sky. So the next thing which we need to do is let's build a little house. So the same thing which we did earlier. Earlier when we built this box, all you need to do is press the left bracket. I'll just this one here. I'll add one in post-production or whatever. Press that on your keyboard and it'll make the grid size smaller like this. So once that's done, what you want to do is draw some walls in your map. Make them 64 high minimum. I'd recommend just building up to this white line here. It's twice the height of a player, but in game it looks good as a size for buildings, etc. So build it up to 128 high and add the walls. Now, if you've followed along, the walls are going to be in the skybox texture, but don't worry about that, we'll retexture it in a minute. So just leave one side open and add your roof. Now once this is added, you can load up your map and you should see it. Now we're in game, you should be able to see your little shack you've just made. Great. So now what we're going to do is what I've just done and forgot to actually mention. Basically what you need to do is just left click on all blocks of a shack and then click the texture tool and give it a texture. I've used brick. Now now what we want to do is click on the floor, click browse and change it into a grass texture. So search that. You might not have as many textures as I have because I've got Counter-Strike source textures mounted on my hammer. I'll give some info on that in a future tutorial. What you need to do is put a grass texture on. Something like this. Okay, maybe not that, that's honestly horrible. Here we go, here's a nice one. So once you put your grass texture on, and you go back in game, you should see that you've got a grass floor. So now you're in game, if you look, you've got grass on your floor and you've got your brick building. The final thing I'm going to cover in this tutorial is how to add a door. So what you need to do is click on the entity tool, which is this one on the left, the one which we placed down a spawn with earlier. Switch back to the select tool, which is the top left here, and then double click, and then set the class here to prop underscore door underscore rotating, and click apply. Now you should see a little red square here. All you need to do is have a look in these properties and search for a world model. When you find it, you click it, you search door in the filter, and then you need to put in a door here. It should be like this. So once you've done that, it should be placed in your level, and you should be able to move it around like any other block. So lift this up to ground level. You might need to use that left square bracket again to be able to make the grid size smaller to be able to move it. And then if you click on it while in the select tool, it'll move from moving and resizing mode to rotating mode, and you can rotate it. You can use this so that you can place your door however you want. And then once you've placed it in the position you want it to be, you can place the rest of your wall. So add in this side. So in this case, I've made the rest of my wall 16 thick, so I'm going to make this the same thickness as that. So now this is being. So now I've placed down these bits. You can select both of these and put them to your brick texture of choice. Now this will conclude the first tutorial. What you've done here is you've built a simple shack and you've built your own little skybox. Thank you very much for watching and have a good day.